Hi, this is a video about life. About a year and a half ago, my son was diagnosed with vasculitis GPA, which is an immunodisease that attacks your vascular system. And that can affect your eyes, that can affect your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, and a bunch more stuff. In my son's case, he ended up with kidney failure and some lesions to his lungs, but without permanent effect. So his disease appeared about a year and a half ago when he was only 16 years old. So the past year and a half was pretty hectic with the hospital visits and treatments. He also needed to do dialysis. The beginning was hemodialysis, where they take the blood out of your body, and that was done at the hospital, but then was changed to PD, which is peritoneal, and he's been doing that for the past year. I'll fast forward to present day today. Now, some of you already know because you follow me on social medias, but we just got back from the hospital where my son received his kidney transplant. So those are good news. Pretty happy. We're really grateful for that silver lining in somebody losing somebody they love. But this kidney actually gives my son a new leap on life. So me and my family are very grateful for that. With everything being private, we don't know much about the donor. So we're unable to do proper thank yous. And so after my son's surgery, we had to get him out and take a few walks for him to rebuild his muscles and be able to be more mobile. So since we had to get him out for him to walk about a minimum of an hour per day, we decided to take him out on a journey to Whistler and do the peak to peak, which is very minimal on the amount of walking. And on our way there's two places we could stop. First one being Shannon Falls, and the second one being Brandywine. And those are two small hikes or walks from the highway that you can do pretty easily. Then we got to Whistler, where we were able to find a nice parking close to the center of town, where the gondolas were leaving for the peak, and then transferred for the peak to peak gondola. So that was all sitting down. So all the hike he had to do was only for going to the first gondola. And that went really well as well. Now those were done during in between his appointments at the hospital, so he had an appointment every other day. We went to Lynn Canyon, which is very close to Vancouver. There's a suspended bridge. There's a few more steps, so we had to shorten that hike a bit, but he was able to see the water go over the suspended bridge. And then to my son's request, he didn't want to be seen on the video, so understandable, and I respect his wish, because after a major surgery you don't look 100%. So for that reason I decided to put only footage of what we saw. What is really amazing is that our stay in Vancouver was supposed to be about 4 to 6 weeks, and we were lucky enough to have a nice accommodation. But because my son's improvement were going so well, we ended up being able to come back home only after 2 weeks, and now we're going to have to go only once a week to Vancouver for clinics and follow-up appointments. So at this point, I'm actually able to think about getting myself back to a state where my mind is clear again, and that I think about my health as well. First time around when my son got sick last year, and that's something I learned the hard way, was that I put all my energies into making sure my son was gonna be okay, and I didn't really ask for help. And now I went through all the hurdles of putting myself back into a clearer state of mind, but it took some time. One of the reasons is me not wanting really to talk about it and trying to deal with all that stuff by myself. So this time around, now that we're back home and that my son is doing a lot better, I can focus a bit on getting back into a more healthy mind and diet kind of mindset. So I'm actually taking a walk to the beach right now, and I don't want this time around to have such a stressful outcome on my whole family. Now would you look at that? Whenever I have too much on my mind, that's usually where I come. I like to take long walks, and that helps a lot my mind to cope with the everyday stress that I used to have, and the upcoming one, obviously, because there's a lot of clinics. There's still a lot of outcomes to the transplant, and we're still hoping for the best. Everything is going very well right now, but it's still ongoing because my son's disease is ongoing. The kidney transplant fixed the kidney failure, but didn't fix the vasculitis, which is going to follow him throughout his life. So it's really important to be aware of your state of mind and your emotions and how you feel about stuff, and to talk about it right away. Like I mentioned earlier, I've learned it the hard way, and now I have to think. Although I'm still thinking about my son's well-being, I need to start thinking about myself as well, and how I can get back up from this year and a half of stress and fatigue. So it's a new start. We moved here a year and a half ago. I feel like I'm just gonna be starting to enjoy this beautiful place where we moved. There's gonna be a lot more happening in my life, I'm sure. But right now I'm just enjoying. It really feels like we turned a page and that we're starting a new chapter. Ooh, blackberries. I'm at the beach house right now. Just walked 7 kilometers.
1 hour.
That my app on my phone is telling me. And I think I'm gonna take a few minutes to relax here. Then I'm gonna have to make a decision. Am I walking another 7K back home, or am I calling somebody to pick me up? So I do want to take a few minutes to thank everybody that was involved in getting my son's life back on track. and that would be first and foremost BC Children's Hospital in Vancouver. You guys are just amazing. You made this whole ordeal look like, even though it was tough, it really rounded the edges of the whole ordeal. I would like also to thank my two counselors here in town that really helped me refocus my mind onto a more positive state, and probably help saving my marriage, I believe. Also my wife, who's been amazing through everything, taking care of the little one at home, taking care of home. Really grateful for all your help. I would like to thank my in-laws and my mom, was very helpful in the whole thing, also, and my son, who proved to be, although he's still a kid, teenager, the amount of strength that he showed during this whole thing, hats off to you. I'm really proud of you. I'm really happy with the new chance that you have on your life, and I'm really hopeful that you're gonna have a great life. I would also like to thank every one of you that signed their card to be donors, organ donors. Mine was already signed prior to this, but I see firsthand the meaning of being a donor, and I encourage every one of you who just went through watching the whole video to think about it, and you can have a big difference in somebody else's life. I mentioned before that I couldn't thank personally the family that helped my son, so that's why I'm thanking every one of you that are donors. You guys really make a difference, or will make a difference at some point. So I think I made my decision, and I'm gonna keep walking. Gonna go on the beach and enjoy this nice sunny day with a nice breeze. Thank you everyone for stopping by and taking the time of watching this video, and until next time, I wish you well.
Distance 12 kilometers. Duration 2 hours 35